All right, what's up? The title of today's discussion is the I Am. Hold up. That's not the title. The title is I Am the Frequency of Fulfillment. Becoming whole before receiving everything. All right? So let me hit live and let's get right into it. Cool. All right, here we go. You are not reduced to what the world says you are. The world is expanded by what you reveal yourself to be. Thus, to live awakened is to see the world not as your master, but as your mirror. I am the frequency of fulfillment, becoming whole before receiving. Beautiful. All right, so let's start off with a couple quotes and break them down. Romans 4:17. Romans 4:17. Call those things which be not as though they were. This is the mystery of creation hidden in plain sight. The power of your word to summon reality. It teaches that faith does not wait for proof. It speaks from the unseen as if it were already established. Like God breathing light into darkness, let there be light. You too are invited to declare from the invisible into the visible. From the darkness to let there be light. From the invisible to the visible. Isn't that beautiful? Think about that. In the beginning, there was darkness. Let there be light. Now you too have the power to speak your desires from the invisible to the visible. Beautiful. Okay? Like God breathing light into darkness, you too are invited to declare from the invisible into the visible, shaping the clay of existence with the fire of conviction. To call it forth is not delusion. It is participation in divine authorship. Okay? That is beautiful. That is beautiful. My bad. I got caught up with my family last night. I say caught up, but I had to enjoy some quality time. But look, I'm back. And I was coughing. And you know what I'm saying? I was trying to get over that. I didn't want to be on here coughing all over y'all. All right, so Luke 17:21. The kingdom of God is within you. Now, we break this down all the time. The kingdom of God is within you, and it means a whole bunch of different things, right? This unveils the secret location of all fulfillment, not in distant heavens, nor in external circumstances, right? It's not in finding a place after you pass away. It's not about once you receive something, then you'll be whole or complete or whatever, all right? But it is within your very being. The treasures you seek, whatever the treasure is, right? Peace, abundance, love, joy, whatever you want to label it. These are not prizes to chase, but wells to uncover in your own soul. When Christ says the kingdom is within, he collapses the distance between the seeker and sought, revealing that you're in the deepest embodiment of yourself is already the throne of the divine. Now let's break it down, because the innermost self, we think of going within and just going far within, and so we instead of thinking some distant place out there, we start thinking of some distant place within. This is radical acceptance of who you already are right now. Radical acceptance. Okay? I feel better. Thank you. Radical acceptance of who you already are right now. Right now. This is your innermost self. It is just your natural self. Because oftentimes we'll be like, oh, well, we have to be more authentic to get what we want. Authenticity is the highest vibration. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, how do I be more authentic? No. You are authentic right now. When you're trying, when you're not trying. It's just radical acceptance of yourself. You already are perfect. You were made perfect. You are made in the perfect image of the Creator. So we talk about authenticity, your innermost self. We're talking about your radical acceptance of yourself right now. Okay? So to realize this is to stop searching outside and begin reigning within. I'm already the frequency of fulfillment. All right, next quote, Albert Einstein. Energy is the language of the universe. Match the frequency of what you desire, and you cannot help but bring it into your life. Right? Frequency, that magical word, frequency, right? We think of frequency, we think of sticking a thermometer up our ass to measure our vibration. Oh, I'm on the highest frequency, right? I'm on the frequency of wealth. What is frequency? Frequency is just your ability to tell the story that you have it already. The moment you declare that you have it, you are the frequency of whatever you want. This is why desire, to have, to desire, is the same thing. But from desire, what desire is actually doing is desire is showing you what source wants to experience through you. Okay? So the moment you declare it, I have it, and you go to that knowing, you are the vibration of it. That's it. That's the frequency. That's it. Now, the only person that can stop that promise between you and God is you. By lying to yourself, saying you're not that person anymore. Judging external circumstances. Thinking that just because you don't feel good means you're out of life, and then maybe it'll spit out what I want. Let me visualize like this, maybe I'll get what I want. Let me try this new technique. Let me howl under the blood moon. Let me sacrifice a goat. Let me do all these things like we're negotiating with Source, like it is some unwilling father waiting to be bribed to give you what you want. But the truth is that this divinity is within you. You already have access to everything you desire. You simply need to commit to marry that version of you. This is all your I am awareness needs. I am awareness does not need your gratitude. I am awareness does not need your love. It does not need your emotions. It's above all of these things. It simply needs your commitment, your marriage to the version of you that has what you want. Meaning you say what you want, you command what you want, you decree what you want, you go to the end and you stay there. No prenup, no divorce, no side piece, no backup plan. You go to the end and you stay there. All right? The universe is a great symphony, and everything that appears in form is first a vibration. When you embody the frequency of joy, abundance, or love, you are no longer wishing for it. You are speaking the same tongue as the cosmos, and like meets like. Reality bends not to effort, but to harmony. And the moment your being matches your vision, the unseen must materialize into the seen. Okay? How to stay there. How to stay in that vibration when you decree it. Okay? How do I stay there? Let's give an example, okay? Let's give an example. I want more money. And so now I declare I am prosperity. Okay? The moment that I've made that declaration, now I am prosperity. There's no separation. Because I have declared I am prosperity. I am prosperity. I am the frequency of prosperity. I'm the vibration of prosperity. Point blank, period. Okay? How do I stay there? What happens if I feel bad? Does that mean I'm out of the vibration of the frequency of prosperity? No, it just means I feel bad. Okay? What if the external situation looks like it's against what I want? Does that mean I'm not in the vibration of prosperity? No. Nothing temporary can judge what is eternal. I am is eternal. Me saying I am prosperity, that is me declaring what the eternal is. Now, these temporary circumstances or emotions that show up, right? Do they mean I'm not in alignment anymore? No, they don't mean shit. What takes me, it's done. Reality is moving for you. It's done. You have it. There is no need, there's no coming out of it or going back into it. You just are. You just are. Because you've said so. God have created together is you. It's our faulty thinking. Thinking that somehow we just slip out of a frequency or vibration. That somehow because we don't feel good, we've slipped out of it. Your only job is to say you have it and then stay faithful to that story. Before that SP can marry you, you have to marry the version of yourself that has them. Before you receive that prosperity, you have to marry the version of you who declares that they are prosperity. No matter what I see, I don't care. The situation might not look ideal, but the God within me is perfect, so the situation must be unfolding perfectly. You have to commit to the story. That's it. Simple as that. No matter how I feel, no matter what I see, I have to commit to it. That's it. So there is no slipping in and out unless I say so. Because remember, there's only one law, I am. Source. We think, oh, if I think against it, if I think this or yada yada, I won't get it. Okay. If you go watch a horror movie right now and you don't want to experience that horror, even though you go speak about it to your parents, speak about it to your friends, speak about it to your loved ones, does the plot of that horror movie show up in your life? Typically not. Why not? Because you don't identify with it, right? That you think of that as the story of a different person, not you. Okay? So which thoughts, which stories do you identify with? The stories of the past, those experiences that you do not want to experience anymore, do you identify with those things as if they're still associated to who you are right now, to this version of you? Or do you know, no, that's a past version of me that experienced those things, that used to experience the betrayal or the loss or the whatever. In this version of me, present. The present means in the present moment, right? You want to walk through life so present that you are actually able to select, okay, I know my mind was wandering, but I forgive myself. I know that there's only this now moment. There's only this now moment. And right now I can choose. Now that thought was with an old version of me. This is what I identify with right now. It's you. You are the one that is making all the rules. Your speech, your word is your power. I try to make this as thorough as possible because this is simple, but we find new ways every day to say the same shit, right? Your words are your tool. This is your power. Your word, your perspective. So when you're walking through life and you are declaring things, okay, no, this is not me anymore. Boom. This is me now. Boom. Okay, this is not me. Boom. Oh, you're always sorting and selecting your thoughts throughout the day. Okay, I feel sad. Doesn't mean I am sad. Doesn't mean I'm not in alignment. I can allow myself to have these human experiences, but I remain the awareness behind it all. Who is the one who is watching you be sad? That's who you really are. Who is the one who is watching you be angry? Who is the one who is watching you imagine all the situations in your life that you don't want to experience? It's you. This simply requires your attention, your awareness, your ability to walk through life and get better at this through discipline, through work. That's it. It's a constant regulation of who I am. Constant regulation of who you are. It's you constantly being in control of the story. Remember, either you're going to be conscious of your story or you're going to allow your story to be told by other people. You're always either creating or somebody else is creating for you. Well, you're always creating, but you're either creating from your own awareness or you're creating from the awareness of other people by just going unconscious. You don't have to associate with all of your thoughts. You don't have to identify with them. You don't have to beat yourself up over negative thoughts. You don't have to. You are all that there is, right? You are the ultimate power. You get to determine reality, moment by moment, step by step. Use that power wisely, right? So even all of this, realize, I say this because all of this is a template, right? If your thoughts create reality, you are the one who ultimately decides what the rules are. If someone makes a rule that all their feelings determine if they're in alignment, that is their life. If right now, since I tell you, because feelings do not determine anything, I place no power on my feelings. They're just part of my experience. What I decree that I am, even once, that is who I am. That is what I experience in my life. All right? The only law is I am. Everything else is just you invoking the power of God in your life. Sorry? And because some of the thoughts are from the old. Exactly. Because that old version of you is always going to be confronting you, trying to pull you back. Like, hey, you don't miss it back here? Don't you miss the pain and the suffering and the brokenness? Hell no, brother. I don't miss that. I don't miss that at all. Right? So it's my job to tell the story. And then you can be concerned with the subconscious if you want to create separation. If you want to go on a long journey of reprogramming the subconscious mind, go ahead. Go ahead. But no, you don't need to be concerned with it. You don't need to be concerned with anything like that because there's only right now. Okay. Oftentimes we use the subconscious as a cop-out, as an excuse. Because what we're really saying is, if I have to reprogram something, I'm saying somewhere far off, in the distance, is a reprogrammed version of me that is worthy, but right now I am not that person. There's only now. There is no future. That's unknown. The future doesn't exist. It's just a thought. The past is just a thought. But sometimes we pretend the past is real because I identify with somebody and I say, no, Alex, I'm going to be a victim right now. Let me pull all of these examples from the past into the present to justify who I am. I'm saying, oh, no, Alex, I'm not worthy right now. Let me tell you about in the future, my subconscious is reprogrammed and now I'm still moving to be that version of me. So living in the past or living in the future puts you on a hamster wheel. You're just on the hamster wheel of becoming, trying, striving, working to be something, to finally be worthy, to finally be loved, to finally have the money. But you are all that right now. You just have to make a choice. This is what life is. It's you simply making choices to be that person right now, to cut down the space. This is just a journey of you versus you. So the moment that you decide you are something, I am prosperity, what's going to happen is, quote unquote, limiting beliefs are going to show up, right? Somebody's going to whisper in your mind, hey, Marinini, subconscious mind. You're going to say, oh, shit, maybe I'm not that person. Even though I've said his point, this is a powerful question. The moment you declare that you have something, if a thought, if a feeling comes up, ask yourself, does this question or feeling imply that I am not the person that I desire to be right now? Does it imply separation? Separation is always an illusion. It's always a byproduct of the ego. That I am right now not what I desire to be when I already am. If it implies that I am not that person, it's a limiting belief. That is where the work is. That is the faith without works is dead. That is where the work is. It's mental work. It's not you going out in the garden, right? And tilling and doing the work in the physical reality. It's the work here. This is all that matters. All is mind. The universe is mental. Anything that implies you don't have it. All right, let's give some practical examples. How should I respond to this situation to get what I want? Well, Alex, the situation looks unfavorable though. How should I act in this situation to get what I want? That question implies that right now you are not the person that has it and that you have to act a certain way to get it. That is an illusion of separation. That's a limiting belief. It doesn't matter what I do. I just handle it the best way that I can, knowing I already have it. This is an example of how to do it. This is what you do, right? Oh, well, how should I act rich if I don't have the money? What should I do? It doesn't matter. Do the best that you can with what you have, knowing that you are prosperity. We try to bring our logic too much into these spiritual processes. Do you have it or not? That is the question. What do I have to do is always the wrong question. What do I have to do? Wrong question. Who do I have to be? Wrong question. What do I have to say? How do I have to act? What do I have to reprogram? Wrong question. What do I have to remember that I already am? Is the right question. It's not about what you do. It's about who you are when you are doing it. It is not about what you do. It is about who you are when you are doing it. Do you remember who you are? Are you doing it from the knowing that you are source? Are you doing it from the knowing you already have it? I am everything that I desire to be right now, no matter what. I am that I am no matter what. I am source. I am prosperity. I am the divine. I am worthy, no matter what. No matter how I feel, no matter what I see, the God within me is absolute perfect. Absolutely perfect. Are you doing things from that knowing? Because when you do things from that knowing, everything is magic. Everything is magical. Everything is prosperity. Everything is God flowing through you when you do things from that perspective. Wow. Right? Having those balls, walking through life and actually walking around with conviction, reminding yourself of the truth. Even if my body feels doubt, my mind still speaks the truth. This is the courage of embodiment. Courage of embodiment. Courage of embodiment. It's a choice. Embodiment's a choice. The story that you tell is a choice. To step into your vision as though it could not collapse beneath you. It is to live already in the posture of triumph with the confidence that failure is not even a category in your vocabulary. Failure? A lot of you, I want to try this. I want to try this manifesting. Let me see if this technique works for 3 days, and let me go to YouTube and find somebody else. Who decides if it's working or not? How do you know if this shit is working or not? How do you know? Because you are source. You choose. And no one can tell you but you. The moment you decide that it is working, that is the moment that your life becomes magical. Stop waiting for something outside of you to tell you who you already are. How can you try to be? How can you become what you were already born as? When you make the choice that everything that you say is magic, when you make the choice that because I said I'm prosperity, reality must conform, that's when it does. Okay? Such living alters your choices, your stance, your radiance, and the world responds to that certainty. To act as if failure is impossible is to walk the earth as though destiny itself the architect's imagination. The life you long for already exists in the invisible, waiting not for your effort, but for your, here's that mysterious word again, your frequency. What is a frequency? It's your declaration. It's who you frequently are. Your frequency is who you frequently say who you are. Your frequency is who you frequently say that you are. That's your frequency. Okay? So, when Jesus said, the kingdom of God is within you, he was not speaking of a distant heaven, but of the living dimension that you carry right now. To call forth your desire is not to pull something word and I shall be healed. Right? And of course, when you're saying it like that, it almost feels like you're waiting for something outside to say the word that you're healed. It wasn't until I came into a greater level of consciousness that I understood that since source is within me, I am the word. Lord, I am not worthy to receive you. But once I say the word, right, then I am. I am. I am. The word is I am. That is the word, I am. And so the moment that we make the declaration of who we are, it doesn't matter what we feel. Though I may not feel worthy of prosperity, I am the way, and I am the truth, and I am the light. So even if I don't know how to get there from where I am right now, my I am awareness is the way. Me saying I am prosperity is the way to get there. Even if I don't believe it, I don't know, man. Alex, like, how do I embody this a little bit more? How do I feel this more? What if I don't believe it? How long until it clicks? And because I said it, it is the truth. I am is above your feelings. I am is above your praise, above your gratitude, above your love. It's simply pure awareness. It needs nothing but your commitment to who you are. Your marriage to your story. That is what I am needs. Your awareness, your commitment to the story. Okay? Here we go. Here we go. All right. So this is why Jesus taught, right? Mark 11:24. When you pray, believe you have received it and it will be yours. And we've talked about that word belief a lot. If I tell you believe and you think of a feeling, you're missing the mark. When I tell you believe and you think of a feeling, you're missing the mark. Belief is marriage, it's commitment. Through the good times and the bad, when I feel good and when I feel bad, until death does us part. It is my marriage to this version of me. This is the true marriage. Before that SP is going to marry you, you got to marry the version of yourself that has him or her. Doesn't matter how you feel. What story are you telling? You are greater than your feelings. Your feelings are the weather. You are the sky. You cannot judge the eternal nature of you by anything temporary like a feeling or an external circumstance. You're much more than that. It's your divine ass. You are much more than that. Okay? The vibration must precede the vision, and the vision will always bow to the vibration. Beautiful. All right? Next, identity is the signal. Here we go. I feel like I cooked in this section right here, so let's go. Identity is the signal. You are not manifesting from what you do. You are manifesting from what you are. Your actions are the echo, not the source. Your actions are the echo, not the source. The source is identity. Okay? So, y'all know I like a lot of different texts, right? So, Gnostic text reminds us, okay, there's one beautiful quote. The world came into being through me. This is Jesus speaking. You're representing your I am awareness, all right? The world came into being through me. Yet I did not come into being through the world. The world came into being through me. Yet I did not come into being through the world. Right? I am in the world, but not of it. Okay? This is the voice of the eternal self. The I am before form. Okay? It declares that creation flows outward from the inner wellspring, not the other way around. You are the source, right? Thou shalt not have any false idols but me. I am the Lord God. You shall not have any false idols, right? This doesn't mean that you shouldn't go worship a golden pig, even though you shouldn't. You shouldn't go worship a golden pig, but you also should not worship anything outside of you, because I am awareness, who you are. Behind it all is the only God. This is the only creator of reality is me. It's I am. Everything else is a false idol. Everything out there. You don't want that person. You simply want the version of you that has that person. You don't want that money. You want that version of you who has that money. And all those versions of you are already within you. Let's go through this. Okay? The world is your projection, your canvas, the reflection of the infinite essence breathing through you. You are not a byproduct of matter, chance, or circumstance. You are the origin from which matter and circumstance take shape. In this light, you stand not as a prisoner of the world, but as its author. Powerful. This is powerful. Okay? To know this is to remember your sovereignty, your freedom. Right? You are a sovereign being. I am a sovereign mind. I am everything I decide to be. I am not bound by circumstance or feeling. I am not bound by anything outside of me. To know this is to remember your sovereignty. The world, here we hear this. Pay attention to this one. The world cannot define you because you are prior to it. The world cannot define you because you are prior to it. The systems, labels, and histories are but garments draped over the radiant soul that existed before they were stitched. Before Abraham, I was, or I am. Before Abraham, let me make sure I say it right. Before Abraham was, I am. What does Abraham represent? The father of identity. Okay, the father of Israelites, right? So we think of Abraham metaphysically. What does Abraham represent? The beginning of identity, of even separation, right? As the Israelites and the Gentiles and all of these things, the beginning of that is Abraham. The beginning of, let's say, me in this life having an identity, a name, me thinking that I have, a family, having all these things in this physical reality. Before Abraham was, I am. This is a very profound statement. Very profound statement, okay? So the systems, the labels, and histories but you are greater than these things. You are not reduced to what the world says you are. The world is expanded by what you reveal yourself to be. I know y'all heard that one. I already know you heard that one. You are not reduced to what the world says you are. The world is expanded by what you reveal yourself to be. Therefore, thus, when I know who I am, I not only change my reality, but I change the reality of others around me, right? It's a beautiful phrase in scripture, right? Forgive others so your Father in heaven can forgive you. But if you do not forgive others, then your Father in heaven cannot forgive you. We think of this from a term of wrath. The only wrath you experience is the wrath you put on yourself. There is no wrathful source. There is no wrathful God. I'm going to let that pause for a little bit. I know, no wrathful God. There is no wrathful God. There is absolutely none. All right? The only wrath you experience is the wrath that you set upon yourself. When you see others as cheaters and they show up that way. When you say that all women ain't shit, all men are dogs, and they show up that way. This is the wrath that your expectations, your misuse of your I am aware into your life. This is it. Okay? So to live awakened is to see the world not as your master, but as your mirror, forever reshaping itself to match the truth you dare to embody. This means you do not wait for external proof to shift your inner self-concept. I don't need you to change for me to know that you've changed. Because I know that you've changed, therefore you must change. Did you hear that? I don't need to see that you have changed to know that you've changed. I simply need to know that you've changed to see that you've changed. Okay, cool. Your self-concept generates the proof. So Neville Goddard declared, you do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. If you desire wealth, you must assume the identity of the wealthy. What is the identity of wealth? He said, I am wealthy. There we go. There's the identity of it right there. I am wealthy. I'm the identity of wealth now. What about the bills piling up? What about the external circumstances? What about them? Are you judging the eternal nature of yourself based on the external circumstances? Right? We just talked about this, right? The world cannot define you because you are prior to it. The systems, labels, and histories are but garments draped over the radiant soul that existed before they were stitched. How can you judge yourself by something you existed prior to? How? Please enlighten your boy. Please enlighten your boy, right? We get so caught up in the illusion, in the egoic way of thinking, that we think these things that have only existed for a blimp in the eternalness of our nature, of our essence, of our being, could define us. How could I define anything infinite based on what I see right now? This is why everything is a concession. I am is the only real thing. I am that I am. I am all that there is. This is the only truth. Everything after that is just me utilizing the name of God in my life. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay? If you desire love, you must breathe as the beloved. Right? You've never been unloved. I don't care what reality has shown you. You've never been unloved. You've never been betrayed. I know that one right there, you might need to hold each other's hands when I say that. You've never been unloved. You've never been betrayed. You've always been perfectly mirrored by that divinity within you that loves you unconditionally. So unconditionally that it will grant you whatever you desire. Let me rephrase that. It will grant you whatever you focus on and This is unconditional love. This is unconditional love. Unconditional love. You've never been betrayed. You were just judging reality to be who you are when it isn't. You've always been unconditionally loved. And the moment that you realize this is the paradox, right? The moment that I realized that I've always been unconditionally loved, even though the meanings are different, okay? Because hear this, right? I want to take you down this journey, right? Oh yeah, I thought I was betrayed because people in reality were quote unquote betraying me. But my expectations were people were betraying me. Therefore, they must continue to do so. Okay, I was fiending and searching for love outside of me. I was fiending for it. Okay? And so reality says, you must like chasing love out here. Let's give you more situations to keep you chasing love out here. So I keep chasing for love and for soulmates and for twin flames. And they kept eluding me. It kept running away. It kept breaking my heart. But the moment I realized that I am unconditionally loved, and all of my expectations were just mirrored to me, this knowing that I am unconditionally loved, not a feeling, but the knowing, the story, changed everything. This is when the exes start running back to you saying, no, I never should have left you. I've loved you so much. Of course you did. I've always been unloved. I've always been loved unconditionally. This is when those abusive parents come back. I'm sorry I did this and I should have showed up more. Of course. Because I've always been unconditionally loved. This is when everything changes past and future, because who you are right now is all that matters. This should be a light bulb moment. I hope it is, at least. All right? Hope it is. Even though the universe don't run off hope. All right? I know this is a light bulb moment right now. Okay? The moment that you decide right now who you are, since everything is happening right now, the past, the future, everything is happening right now. The moment you decide who you are right now, you change all timelines. You change all versions of you. You change all past lives. You change there's only right now. There's only right now. Right? Identity is the broadcast signal, and reality is only ever the feedback loop. Identity is the broadcast signal, and reality is only ever the feedback loop. I don't have to see that you've changed to know that you have changed. I simply have to know that you have changed, therefore you must change. Beautiful. All right, here we go. Next part, desire as a future memory. We've talked about this last time. We started getting into the future memories. Okay, the future memories. I feel like I cooked in this section too. Your desires are not random. They are coordinates written into the soul. They are divine breadcrumbs from the future self calling you forward. Have you ever had a desire that felt more like memory, more like fate, than something that you had just thought up right now? Have you ever had a desire that felt more like memory or fate or destiny than something you just could imagine right now? Most of us feel this way, especially when it comes to love, to people, right? Y'all come to me and tell me, Alex, I just know that this is my soulmate. I know this is my twin flame. I know we've done this in multiple lives. I know that. How do you know that? Because that desire feels more like a memory, like fate, like destiny, than something that you could have possibly just imagined right now. What does that mean? What does that mean? Ecclesiastes 3:11. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart. Yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. It sounds very mysterious. Very mysterious. Maybe it is just me, because I like to search for the deeper meaning in things, right? I like to dig a little bit deeper. But let's break this down, okay? This verse whispers of the divine paradox within us, that though we live bound by time, our souls are etched with infinity. It is why no achievement, no possession, no fleeting moment can fully satisfy us. Because what we carry is a longing too vast for the temporary. What I am cannot be satiated by the temporary, by a single thing in this reality. Okay? God planted eternity within, not as a burden, but as a compass, reminding us that we are more than dust, more than days, more than the ticking of the clock. To awaken to this truth is to recognize that your deepest desires are not random cravings, but echoes of your eternal nature. The hunger you feel for love, for peace, for meaning is the soul remembering home. The hunger you feel for that wealth, for that person, to help your family, for whatever, is the soul remembering home. You are a finite vessel carrying infinite memory. You are an infinite being walking through life in a finite vessel. And though no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end, eternity beats in your chest with every breath, urging you to rise above the illusion of limits and live as one who has already belonged to forever. Right? So this scripture, this verse is you are. He has made everything beautiful in his time. He has also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So the longing you carry, let's break this down in a little bit more simplistic way, right? The longing you carry is a memory folded in time, an echo from your higher self who has already lived in it. You are not reaching for what is uncertain. You are remembering what is eternal. When you treat desire as remembrance, your striving dissolves. There is no longer begging, only aligning. No longer chasing, only becoming. And in the becoming, the distance between you and your dream evaporates. I'll read that one more time. I really want y'all to hear this part. Okay? You are not reaching for what is uncertain. Think about this in the context of everything. Everything that you desire, that person you desire. Okay? That money you desire. That health you desire. Whatever the case may be, no exception to the rule. You are not reaching for what is uncertain. You are remembering what is eternal. You are remembering your divine nature. Okay? When you treat desire as remembrance, your striving dissolves. There is no longer begging, only aligning. No longer chasing, only becoming. And in the becoming, the distance between you and your dream evaporates. Beautiful. Okay? Manifestation is not forced. It is not wrestled into existence. It should not feel like work. Oh, I gotta, get back home because tonight is my visualization night and I can't miss my affirmations, as if God is this reluctant father waiting to be bribed into what you want. Everything is yours by divine right. You go within, you affirm, you visualize to remember who you are. To remember a BBL. Is that what I think it is? Manifestation is not forced. It is not wrestled into existence. It is the natural overflow of alignment. When your heart, mind, and body synchronize, you radiate wholeness. Oh, birds before land. I know y'all gotta chill out with these acronyms, man. Y'all got to chill out with the acronyms. Birds before land. I got you. Yeah. When your heart, mind, and body synchronize, you radiate wholeness. And creation rushes to meet wholeness with more wholeness. Okay? So Matthew 6:33. This is why Christ taught, seek first the kingdom and all things will be added unto you. Now, understand that in the context of what we were just saying. Okay? Matthew 6:33. Seek first the kingdom and all these things will be added unto you. This is in alignment with everything that we've just talked about. Everything just kind of led full circle to this. When you take your desire as divine memory, okay? Let's say that one more time. When you treat desire as remembrance, my desire is my soul remembering who I really am. My striving dissolves. I no longer beg for it. I simply align with the truth that I already am everything I desire to be right now. I no longer chase, I simply become. I simply am. The moment I decided that it was mine, I became it. And our reality must shift and rearrange to give me what I want. Okay? And in the becoming, the distance between you and your dream evaporates. There is no distance because I already am everything I desire to be. This is the meaning of this. Seek first the kingdom, and all these things will be added unto you. Seek first the kingdom. Know right now that you are everything you desire to be, and all things will be added to you, right? This is magical. This is a very magical truth right here. The moment I decide this desire is divine memory, the moment I say that I am everything I desire to be, right now I begin to walk through life and I confront the limiting beliefs. Anything that implies that right now I am not that person that has everything that they want, that's a limitation. That's a lie. That's an illusion. Okay? Therefore, I let that go. All right? So the mystic Meister Eckhart wrote, okay? God is at home. It is who we have. Sorry. I bet I got a text from my dad. I got a little distracted. Let me read this again. The mystic Meister Eckhart wrote, God is at home. It is we who have gone out for a walk. God is already within you. It is us who has went out for the walk and got distracted by the external circumstances and feelings and illusions. Return home to your alignment, and you will find that what you once chased is already seated at your table. Return home to your alignment, and you will find that what you once chased is already seated at your table. Okay? A couple reflection questions, then affirmations, and then I'll do questions, especially the BBL question. All right? Which I just found out today means birds before land, which is wild. Okay? So reflection questions. Number 1. What desire in my life feels less like fantasy and more like a memory? What desire in my life feels less like fantasy and more like memory? Man, I remember when I was broke. I remember that the dreams I had about just having enough money where I did not have to worry about swiping, that felt like who I really was. And so it didn't feel like some far off thing. It felt like the money was far off, sure. But that version of me felt like that was who I was. That's who I was supposed to be. And so the more that I was working and striving to become this person, it still felt like, okay, this is who I'm supposed to be, but this is, I don't know. The realization that I'm already everything I desire to be. The realization that, yeah, it feels like my natural state of being. It feels like who I'm supposed to be because it is me. That was the game changer, that realization. I can't work and strive to become who I am. My working and striving to become this person is the implication that I don't believe that I am that person. I simply needed to what? To be still and know that I am God. That's what I had to do, was to be still. The version of you that has that person that you want, that's you right now. It's you right now. And the more you strive to become that person, you keep implying that you don't believe you are that person. The version of you that has that money, it's already you. And the more you try to become that person, the more you're implying that you don't believe you are that person. Be still and know that I am God. Okay? Be still and know that I am God. Okay. So I know what the birds before land is. It's the Florence Scovel Shinn quote. I think she coined that. Florence Scovel Shinn quoted birds before land, right? Just like if you're on a boat, before you get to land, you might see birds. My perspective of that is that leads us to breadcrumb things. Because all of a sudden we'll see a couple of things and be like, oh, it's working. What do you mean it's working? Do you have it or not? So I think even that pulls you out of this state of alignment. Now, sure, you could tell the same story and say, well, no, everything is unfolding because I see these birds before land, or I see these breadcrumbs. I all of a sudden got a text from this person. But is the text what you wanted? Or do you want the marriage? Is the $2 what you wanted? Or do you want the prosperity? Which one is it? Huh? So if it brings you to a mentality, right? If it brings you to a mentality that, oh, it's working. Now I just need to affirm harder to get what I want. Well, I think that puts you in an unfavorable state of mind. You already have it. It's not that things are working or changing. Things are always working or changing whether you see them or not. You don't have to see anything, right? Like I said, I don't have to see you've changed to know that you've changed. I don't have to see that you've changed to know you've changed. I know that you've changed, therefore you must change. It can be whatever you think it is. I'm just giving y'all different examples, y'all. Hear me out, right? Hear what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying whether it works or not. I'm saying, who are you when you see those things? Right? We could say maybe it means this or maybe it means that, or no, it means this or yada, yada, this. Who are you when you see those things? This is the important point. It means whatever you say it means. But who are you when you see that? Who are you? Are you the person who knows, of course it's working because I am who I am? Or are you, oh, it means this, or now my faith is in everything outside of me. Your faith should already be in you. This is the point that I'm making. Okay? This is the point that I'm making. We can say it means whatever, but who are you with whatever you see? All right? Because you see these quote unquote birds before land, is that different than when you see absolute radio silence? It shouldn't be. Who are you when you see these things? Because if all of a sudden I see these things out there and it's like, oh, I'm doing it right. Well, guess what? I'm waiting for external validation, right? I'm waiting for something out there to prove to me that I already am everything I desire to be. But you already are everything you desire to be because you choose to. You have to make the choice. Everything out there is a concession. Nothing out there can prove to you anything. You're already the person right now that has the money, that has that person, that has that thing. The external world can't show you anything. So the whole birds behind land concept, cool. Or birds before land, cool. Do that, right? Get your BBL on. Do what you want to do. All right? But who are you being through all of those things? Who are you being when nothing looks like it's working out? When everything looks silent? When it looks like it's the opposite out there? Who are you, right? This is that pool of Bethesda story that I always talk about, right? All the crippled people sitting around the pool, and they believe that at a certain time an angel got into the water. And when the angel got into the water, because of course an angel would be invisible in these times, the water would stir and move. And whoever the first person, the first handicapped or crippled person or sick person to get in that pool would be healed. This is the meaning of that story. This is a story about the birds before land. What does the movement of the pool represent? It represents us looking outside, waiting for an external circumstance to move. For us to see something move to prove to us that we're doing the right thing. And if you're waiting for something to move outside of you, you're missing the mark. This is why Jesus, your I am awareness, said what? The pool means nothing. It means nothing. All you need is me. All you need is your I am awareness. All you need is your knowing of who you are. That is your bird before land. Your birds before land is you deciding that you are everything you desire to be. I'm everything I desire to be. I am the prosperity I seek. I am the love I desire. I am the wholeness I've been seeking. Everything. That is your birds before land. When you make the decision that you are everything you desire to be, that is the signal. That is the proof. That is the evidence. Right? So even that crippled man telling Jesus, right? Are you going to take me to the pool? Everybody steps over me to get to the pool. Right? Don't bother me today. I'm just having a bad day. Jesus telling him, yeah, you've had a lot of bad days. You've been having a bad day for a long time, haven't you, man? Looking for the external circumstances. Oh, I thought I was getting movement and then it went away. Oh, it's no movement. Oh, the situation is unfavorable. Always doing these things, always looking outside of us, right, for these things. Okay? So number two. Number two. Where am I still waiting for external evidence before shifting my identity? This one ties into exactly what we were just talking about, right? Where am I still waiting for external evidence before shifting my identity? I'm waiting for some sign out there to prove to me that I'm already what I desire to be. Okay? Where am I still waiting for external evidence? Number three, how can I embody the vibration of my desire today before proof arrives? How can I embody the vibration of my desire today before proof arrives? How? Obviously, you just got to say the word, right? Only say the word. Just say the word. I am. Okay? Number four. This is a good one. What practices return me to alignment when I drift into striving? Return me to alignment when I drift into striving. Okay? Is it affirming? Is it visualizing? Is it meditating? Is it going for a walk? Is it listening to, what is it? Is it just talking to yourself? Is it just a simple, quick reminder? Right? What is it? What is it? Okay. And then number five, how would I live differently? How would I live differently if I truly believe the kingdom is within me right now? How would I live differently if I truly believed the kingdom is within me right now? What would I do if I already knew that I was everything that I wanted to be? How would I act right now if I already knew I was everything I desired to be? What would you be? What would you do, right now? Maybe you would take a nap. Maybe you would cook some breakfast for your family. Right? Maybe you would just rest a little bit easier. Maybe you go work out. What would you do if you knew you were everything you desired to be right now? And now the follow-up question, what's stopping you from being that? Or what's stopping you from doing that? Because you already are everything you desire to be right now. Maybe you would be more in your body, less in your mind. All right? Here we go. Once the decision in faith of things unseen is made, eventually it manifests itself in this very slow vibration of the 3D, not wanting it, not waiting or looking for it. It usually just shows up. Precisely. It always falls up or shows up. Once we make that decision, that's all it is. I love that you put it that way, right? So poetic and eloquently spoken, right? It is a choice. When we make the choice of what we want, when we make the choice with faith, right, of the things that we want, the quote unquote unseen things, right? Even though we see it, but I see it before anybody else saw it. Right? I just saw the shit first. Me and Source saw it first. When we make that decision, when we choose what we want, right? I am this, I am that, I have this, I have that. When we make that choice, because we are in this third dimensional reality, it is a dense reality. Things, but it's still thoughts, right? It's still your thoughts manifesting. It's still your choices manifested. So when we make that choice and we stay faithful to that choice, it must show up in reality. This is law. It's absolutely law. Okay? Good. So now we got some affirmations for y'all. And yeah, I'm going live tonight too. I'll be going live twice, maybe even 3 times today. Maybe even 3 times today. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Number 1. Remember, You are already all of these affirmations. You're not waiting to be anything. You're already these. Okay, this is a remembrance of who you already are. Number one, I am not bound by time. Eternity beats within my heart. I'm not bound by time. Eternity beats within my heart. Beautiful. Number two, what I seek is not outside of me. It is the eternal kingdom already within. What I seek is not outside of me. Right? It is the eternal kingdom already within. Seek ye first the kingdom, and all things will be added unto thee. I love today's discussion because I do feel like it was full circle. Right? We dug deep and deep and deep into the meaning of desire, into how to get your desires and how to embody and speak the word and know that your desires, it's actually divine memory. And have you ever had a desire that felt more like a memory? And then we went to seek ye first the kingdom. Because your memory, your divine memory, you saying, oh no, we must have known each other in other lifetimes. That's how much I know this person, I love this person, I want this person. All of that is simply pointing towards this desire not being something in some unknown future, but a memory of who you are right now in this present moment. And so it's always just about seeking that kingdom within yourself and allowing those things to be added to you. Right? So number three, every desire I hold is an echo of infinity, guiding me back to my divine source. Every desire I hold is an echo of infinity, guiding me back to my divine source. And I got you. Here's number two. What I seek is not outside of me. It is the eternal kingdom already within. Right? What I seek is not outside of me. It is the eternal kingdom already within. Okay, remember, all of these I'll upload them to YouTube. So all of these quotes, everything that I read today, it's all yours. It's all for you. As soon as we get off of this, I'll upload it to YouTube. You can do whatever you want with them. Okay. Number four, I am both finite and infinite, a vessel of time carrying the breath of forever. I am both finite and infinite, a vessel of time carrying the breath of forever. I am everything I desire to be right now. Okay? Next up, sit back, relax. We still got four. Still got you. We still got four. Nothing in the temporary can diminish me, for I am rooted in eternity. Nothing in the temporary can diminish me, for I am rooted in eternity. Beautiful. Next up, I like this one. I trust the unfolding. I trust the unfolding, knowing my soul remembers the fullness of God's design. I trust the unfolding, knowing that my soul remembers the fullness of God's design. My soul remembers the fullness of God's design. Everything is unfolding for me, through me, to me, as me, right now, in this beautiful, gracious, generous present moment. Everything. Next up. Eternity is not ahead of me. It is alive in me right now. Eternity is not ahead of me. It's not something I'm striving to, fearing, reaching towards. It is alive in me right now. Wonderful. Wonderful. And last but certainly not least, right? With every breath, I walk as one who already belongs to forever. With every breath, I walk as one who already belongs to forever. This is not your home. Right? Remember, I am in the world, but not of it. Right? With every breath I take is the breath of God. Every step I take is a step of God. Every thought is a communion with God. It's a decision with God of what I want to experience and what I no longer want to experience. Every breath, I walk as one who already belongs to forever. God is in me. I am in God. We are one and the same, indivisible. I am source. You are everything you desire to be right now. Remember that. Walk in it, no matter how you feel. You are the identity of the divine, the Spirit of God that is everything. You are the identity of the Spirit. You are the voice of the Spirit. You are the authority and the identity of God. I am the authority. I am the identity of the Most High, no matter what. No matter what you say, no matter what you think, no matter what the circumstance shows, you are everything you desire to be right now. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, y'all. Well, that's the end of here. Got some people that's supposed to show up at 10. Surprised I haven't heard a knock yet. But I will be on probably in the next couple hours. Probably about 3 times today. But I appreciate y'all. Remember, you are already everything you desire to be. The only thing that's keeping us from the life that we desire is that we refuse to believe we already are that person. All right? Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful evening. And I also apologize for not doing the workshop this week. I was feeling a little bit out of it. Just feel a little under the weather. Wanted to show up for y'all. And I was moving. And I was doing some stuff with one of my people, right? But next weekend is the weekend. All right, next weekend is the weekend. And I'll put out more about it. Remember, anybody that's a subscriber, paying TikTok or paying YouTube subscriber, you will get the workshops for the absolute free. For anybody else, it's $25. All right, it's typically 3 to 4 hours. We'll go as long as y'all need. But it's more so just a way for you to get, I guess, a more one-on-one type of coaching, right? The last one we did was you create an alter ego. That alter ego was already in alignment with everything that you wanted. And we did a bunch of exercises to remove any limitations between who you believe you are right now and that alter ego, to make sure that you knew that you were already that person right now, and therefore everything could be added to you. Okay, so that was the purpose of that. The next one will probably be pretty similar, but yeah, I'll let y'all know. But I appreciate y'all's time as always. Hope y'all have a beautiful Saturday. Talk to y'all very soon. If not, I still appreciate y'all. All right, talk to y'all later, man. Peace.